What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with more Destiny 2 news. And of course it's been a relatively lively couple of weeks for the game. Launch of a new episode, new dungeon, Destiny Rising. Anybody? Nah, doesn't matter, I'm just kidding. There's been quite a bit of stuff going on and Bungie say they'll have even more news in the next few days, but today we've got some stuff to talk about as well. So various updates from Bungie regarding bugs at the minute. We'll also talk about some new rewards this episode, interesting new armor sets that we're going to get access to, and yes, we will talk about Destiny Rising, at least very briefly. It's an interesting moment for the franchise at the very least, but there's a handful of stuff to round up today, so as always, I hope you enjoy this one. If you do, a rating below really helps us on the channel, but now, let's get into it. And firstly, worth reiterating again, that Bungie do plan to have a new Destiny 2 codename Frontiers Developer Insight article this week, so look out for that one. We'll cover it here on the channel as always. Another important update from Bungie here, and they've said we resolved an issue where a Guardian rank 7 triumph required Icebreaker kills. This has been auto-completed for all players. So I think the actual issue is that it said Icebreaker was required, but it was supposed to be the Season Pass exotic, Alethanim. And so instead of simply changing the requirement, Bungie have just auto-completed it, which is definitely better than not fixing it, of course. Bungie Help have also said, we're investigating an issue where Master Vesper's host is not currently dropping Artifice armor. So of course the Master version dropped this week, and they say we discussed disabling the difficulty option until a resolution, but we'll leave Master difficulty available for players to complete the Station Master triumphs and the Unleashed title. So unfortunate that the armor is bugged at the moment, but they'll keep it active so that players can work on triumphs and challenges, and hopefully the armor will be fixed shortly. Another blub here from Bungie though, and they say, regarding the Iron Banner, we originally stated that this activity would return early in November, but the actual start date will be November 26th. Again, I'm not sure how that error occurred, but at least we have a confirmed date for Iron Banner, again, albeit much later than we originally hoped, especially given the players that want to go after that new armor. So share your thoughts down below. Otherwise, Bungie Help have also said we're investigating issues with the Kinetic Impact's artifact mod, where it's not working for all heavy grenade launchers. Damage impact is too low, and it takes too many hits to activate the effect, so that's something else that'll be sorted soon, hopefully. And again, Bungie reiterate that Tether is currently disabled on Hunters inside of the Vesper's host dungeon, due to it causing consistent guitar errors. But finally, they've also said they've been in the process of issuing a large ban wave on accounts for breaking terms of service. And for questions or concerns regarding the restriction and ban policies, they're linked to a help article regarding restrictions and banning, so Bungie keeping on top of that stuff. A quick mention here though, and Bungie Leaks shared some info about Tomb of Elders, and of course that will be the Act 2 episode content, where it would appear we get a fairly fleshed out activity right here. So there'll be a bunch of challenges associated with this. We can see successfully complete 4 laps in the Contest of Elders, and there are different sort of objectives and modifiers for this. Firstly, Warden's Judgment, a dynamic range of values tied to the activity's difficulty. Stacks of positive judgment are called Warden's Favor and increase in counter difficulty, but stacks of negative judgment are called Warden's Punishment and slightly decrease difficulty. And following every reward phase, the Warden will assess a fireteam's judgment rating, where Warden's Favor allows a fireteam to skip an encounter, while Warden's Punishment activates the punishment protocol. And it would appear that will affect rewards. But for secondary objectives, challenges and critical objectives appear in every encounter, and mastery of these objectives contributes towards Warden's Judgment. Then for rewards granted upon the defeat of a boss, subsequent laps pay out better rewards, and stacks of Warden's Favor increase your rewards even further. And so a little bit like the coil, it sounds like this activity is designed so that we can continuously do repeat runs of the Tomb of Elders. And it's looking for the moment like the Act 2 weapons from the Revenant set will be the actual rewards for this. But there are also a bunch of bosses, so there are main bosses returning from Prison of Elders, Skolas, and the Warden Servitor. But then there are Revenant bosses as well, and you'll recognize those from the Forsaken campaign, plus Legacy prisoners, which again are returning from Destiny 1, including Psylocke the Defiled. As long as we get Varix calling these out, I'll be happy. But we'll also see the addition of Lucent Hive, an interesting boss called Subjugator of Whispers, as part of the Dread Colony faction. And there's also a listing for the Gladiator Brothers, or the Shield Brothers, from the Strike in the Taken King. And so it looks like it could be a pretty interesting activity overall. Loads of bosses and loads of different ways to play through it, by the looks of it. So it could be pretty fun, especially if the rewards actually stack up, and if there are enough new things to go after. So we'll have to see how it pans out, but give us your thoughts in the comment section. Now though, let's briefly talk about Destiny Rising, one of the big announcements this week. And of course, there's been a big response really in the community. It is kind of mixed. There are some folks that are interested to check it out, but there's also been a lot of feedback regarding the fact that the characters have different abilities to what we have in Destiny 2. Some frustration that we aren't actually seeing those things in the main game. And the same can be said for some of the gear in the game that we've spotted. Plus the sort of perception that having a mobile version of Destiny is actually taking away resources that should be used on the main game. And we can't say for certain that there isn't an element of that, but again, we should reiterate this game isn't made by Bungie as far as we know, and the indication is that no major Bungie resources have actually been spent on it because NetEase bought the rights to be allowed to make the game. So as far as we understand it, they are very separate projects, but obviously we don't know all of the ins and outs regarding their deal. I can relate to that piece of feedback though, but NetEase posted a separate video where some folks from Bungie actually speak about it briefly as well. So this is what some of the Bungie team had to say.
Hey everyone, we here at Bungie are so excited that NetEase has invited us to join them as they announce their brand new mobile game set in an alternate Destiny universe. Now, for the past few years, NetEase has been working hard, and it has been our honor to support them in building a high quality and authentic Destiny experience, and on a brand new platform.
Destiny Rising is a new take on Destiny, set in an alternate universe with its own timeline, but true to the core tenets and identity of Destiny. Our partnership team at Bungie has worked to support NetEase in designing Rising to be a game that should be perfect for veterans of the franchise, and also appeal to a whole new audience that has yet to experience the world of Destiny.
So there we go. Give us your thoughts about what Bungie have said, but this video also seems to demonstrate a bit of a better view of what the game will actually look like on mobile. As always, the trailer was souped up a little bit. Not that the game looks bad by any means, but there's more footage in the Dev Inside video that they shared. But of course, on top of the abilities like the Void Scythe that we saw from the Warlock right here, through the couple of videos that we've had, I've spotted at least Sweet Business, Huckleberry, Izanagi's Burden, and a full auto crossbow, which the devs did actually refer to. And this is the weapon that will come with a mythic rarity. So mythic, I believe, is sitting between legendary and exotic weapons. And yes, I totally agree that it would be nice to see a weapon like this in the full Destiny release. Very curious to see how this whole Destiny Rising thing pans out. And as some folks have said, probably the game is largely targeted at Asian markets and players that don't necessarily play the current Destiny title. But as I've sort of suggested previously, one small positive that might come from this for players of the main game is that it could actually get more folks into the main title and subsequently give Bungie more resources to hopefully make more and better content for the game. That, of course, would be in a perfect world. Give us your thoughts down below. Last thing I wanted to talk about here, but this season, of course, there are lots of cosmetic elements to the game, loads of different armor sets. There's the Plague Doctor stuff that's around in a minute. We're going to have Festival, the 2 actual gameplay or 3 gameplay armor sets, or sets and ornaments, and a lot of different Eververse sets that will come from bundles. And there's another one I haven't touched on just yet, but somebody shared to Reddit that there will be Magic Girl Eververse sets, and I had no idea what they meant by Magic Girl. According to a Wikipedia page, and these are always 100% reliable, aren't they? Magic Girl is a subgenre of primarily Japanese fantasy media, including anime, manga, light novels, and live-action media, with those who possess magical abilities, which they typically use through an ideal alter ego into which they can transform. And yes, it's obvious I've got no idea what I'm talking about, but apparently there is a themed set coming to Eververse. You can see a couple of pieces right here from the Hunter. But then we've got the Titan, and finally there'll be a couple of pieces from the Warlock set, including some robes, which are, well, they're very, very loud, aren't they? Anyway, thought that might be of interest. I don't know when they'll show up in the Eververse store. Probably they're going to be silver armor sets, but I guess it's something to look out for if you're into it. For today, guys, that's what we've got to speak about. I'll keep you up to date when Bungie give us more info. Sounds like there will be some other updates in the next few days, so keep it locked and loaded. If you've enjoyed the video though, a rating below really helps us on the channel, and be sure as well to get subscribed so I can keep you up to date with more Destiny content. Otherwise though, cheers for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.